What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of the World Cup Road to Glory. On the screen right now is the way that I changed the team and the team that I put in place. We went for the French connection down the left hand side and the Brazilian brilliant Brazilians or something down the right hand side. Now guys, I asked in the last episode and the episode before that if you guys want to see obviously more and more of this World Cup mode, to drop a thumbs up, show some love, engage, put comments in and share the video where possible. And once again, you guys smashed well over 7,000 likes, so if we could hit that again today, that would be amazing. Look down below, if it's lower than 7,000, hit that thumbs up for me, it would be very much appreciated. So our first game, we get this error, and today's video, although we're going to take some comments, today's video is going to be about two things outside of the comments. Number one is going to be about how bad one player is and how good another player is, hence the title of This Guy is Insane or something along those lines. And the second thing that we're going to talk about is, once again, the reward structure. The glitch aside for people backing out at the squad screen, the reward structure is very, very, very bizarre. And today's video is a prime example. Now, I played through the whole World Cup here today, so you've got all of my World Cup happenings. And spoiler alert, I didn't win the World Cup. And in the last episode, I farmed the group stages twice, and there were some comments saying, you know, this will speed up the process, you shouldn't farm this. You know, it makes it a bit boring, a bit less interesting. Whilst I personally disagree, I thought, let me play through the World Cup and see if I can win the World Cup. Although we won it already one time, let me see if I can win it again and how good this team is in terms of competing. And I lost in the semi-final, and the reason why for me the rewards are so backwards is because I played 3 group games, I lost 1 and won 2, and I came out with a 7.5k pack, 3 single player packs, and 1.5k coins. I then played 3 knockout stage rounds, lost 1 and won 2, the exact same win rate as in the groups, and all I got was 3 individual player packs. So if I'd have just forfeited at the round of 16 and replayed the groups, I would have got more for my time, and it shouldn't be that way. I do understand the idea behind the fact of you shouldn't necessarily be rewarded for losing in the final, but at the same time, you shouldn't be rewarded more for potentially not even winning a game in the group stage versus winning several games in the knockout stage and then getting nothing. And in fact, if you take the group stage into consideration, you could lose all 3 games, you would get 0 points, and you would get 3 single player packs. In the knockout stages, you could win 3 games and then lose the 4th game, and you would only get 4 single player packs. It just doesn't make sense. For me personally, guys, it just doesn't make sense why you're rewarded more. And so, for everyone that's farming the World Cup mode and getting to the, getting out the group stages and refreshing or resetting or forfeiting the tournament, I understand why you're doing it, and I'm going to do it myself until at the very least I've got a very competitive squad. And we've talked about squad and how good and how bad squad is here today. And what you'll see is this is the first game I lose, and this guy's squad is just so good, and he was a good player. And when you get a great squad with a good player versus a average to good squad with a good player, you really then start to notice the difference between the squads. And the game that I lost in the semi-final, the guy had the best team, plenty of icons, CR7, and it was just genuinely unmanageable. My team just isn't quite good enough. My centre-back Kimpembe just doesn't have good defending stats. Dean is just too slow. Having Rabiot in midfield, he's just not good enough, and it left me exposed. And not only did it leave me exposed in terms of my team, the guy was very good. Both players that I lost to here today, once in the group, once in the knockout stages, both players were good players. I'm not just blaming team. I'm not really even blaming team at all. This whole World Cup mode, this whole tournament for us, this whole series for us, is about just building up our squad. Now that we've already won the World Cup, is about the most efficient way to build our squad up. And the most efficient way, sadly, is going to be farming group stages. So what I think I'm going to do for the next few episodes is farm groups for a few episodes, and then every now and then, maybe when we get like a huge team upgrade, go and play the World Cup through all the way again, just to see how close we are now to being able to win the World Cup consistently. That'll be the aim. So 2 things before we get into the comments for today's video, 2 things in terms of players. Number 1, Lacazette is probably the worst player I've used in the World Cup mode. I don't know what it is about him. He just misses everything. I'll check his goal scoring ratio after this game, after this episode. But yeah, he just misses everything. I've never, like, I put him in there for chemistry because he gets 10 chemistry and Rashford only gets 8 chemistry. But I'm going to be putting Rashford back in because Rashford was banging goals for me, and Lacazette, I would imagine he's only scored about 5 goals in maybe like 30 games. It's that bad. It really is that bad. The other person in the team that's insane is Gabriel Jesus. The guy is ridiculous. 4-star, ridiculously overpowered stats, and he just doesn't miss anything. It's such a stark contrast to Lacazette, where I put Lacazette, sometimes I actually put Lacazette through clean one-on-one with the goalkeeper, did a driven finesse around the goalkeeper, and it went so far wide, I thought I was on manual shooting. I was like, I paused it, I checked, I wasn't on manual shooting, I was still on assisted. And so the fact that it went so far wide was crazy to me. But as you can see with Gabriel Jesus here, he just scores so many goals. He's got a positive goal ratio. He's got more goals than games. But not only that, it's not like I'm force-feeding him the goals, and you'll see this right at the end of the video. He also has an insane amount of assists as well, which means he just gets involved in the play all over the place all the time, which is great. Anyway, let's get into some comments as we watch some more of the gameplay. Harry Ruff says, "Hey Nep, do you think they brought out the World Cup mode too soon?" Yes, I think the perfect time for the World Cup mode to be released would have been this coming Friday. It's when Team of the Season finishes, and it's a few days before the World Cup, like 5-6 days before the World Cup actually starts. I think that would have been the opportune time to bring out the World Cup mode. With them bringing out the World Cup mode early, they rushed through Team of the Season and they made it a bit different and stuff. And I actually like the way Team of the Season went this year. Last year, I hated Team of the Season. I thought it was a terrible promo. I didn't like it at all. I didn't engage with it at all. This year, I still think there were certain things wrong with the Team of the Season promo, but just generally speaking, it was much, much better. They gave out so many cards to people. Like, one of the things that I ask for out of FIFA is, for playing this game, you should be rewarded. Well, guess what? If you play this game through Team of the Season, you were rewarded with an abundance of Team of the Season cards. It was great. The rest of the world, weekly objectives and the way the rest of the world worked, I actually thoroughly enjoyed. What I didn't like about this Team of the Season is just the lack of choices. You know, I think the fact that they didn't give full teams to the Benelux, to the Pro League, to the Dutch League, to the Saudi League like they did last year, I miss that. And the fact that they also didn't give bronze and silver Team of the Seasons as well, I miss that. So there were some things that I missed, and I think there could have been just generally more things done for Team of the Season, but I think this was a much better promotion than it was this time last year, so I was happy with that. But in terms to answer your question again, Harry, yeah, I think the World Cup mode came out a couple of weeks too soon. However, I am very excited for the World Cup mode through the World Cup because of the way that the dynamic players work. The next comment is from Taylor Lan HD. He says, "Why are there no online friendlies and you can only create one squad? Do you think it will be changed? Love your videos. Keep up all of the good work." Well, thank you for the kind words, dude. I don't know either of the answers to either of those questions, and I share your frustrations. Having only one squad is crazy, and I literally don't understand the logic behind only having one squad. I don't know if it takes up bandwidth or server space to have more than one squad. Maybe that's the reason. But at least letting us have 2 squads would be cool. In terms of no online friendlies, I assume it's so that you have to play yourself so that you spend money, right? That's the only logical reason I can think of. Yeah, that's literally all I have. I don't know why there's no friendlies. I don't know why there's no chance to play with people or against people that you know. The only other logical explanation I can think of is because of the one player pack thing. If you got a player pack at the end of every friendly, you could farm player packs so quickly. Go into a friendly game, back out. Go into a friendly game, back out. And you could generate hundreds of packs for no time at all. Maybe they just didn't want that to happen as well. The next comment is from Dave Boyle. Says, "Hey Nep, do you not think that Chemstar boosts should be visible in Ultimate Team? I know you can put them on a card on Futhead, but if EA make it so that you can clearly see the boost, surely it will prove to anyone that doubts Chemstars that they actually work and affect the player." Yeah, I agree with you, and it would be cool to see something like that next year. Who knows, maybe we will, maybe there'll be changes in that next year. Moreover than what I see on Futhead and Footwiz is I don't think the formula that Futhead and Footwiz have is exactly correct for when you have less than 10 chemistry. When you have exactly 10 chem on the player and 100 chem points in team chem, the boosts were specifically given out by EA. And you can see what the growth is. However, when a player has 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 chemistry, it's a linear increase and decrease from 50, right? And that's going to confuse someone, so I won't go into detail with it. But basically, it decreases linearly down from the boost that you get. And there was no formula as to exactly how the stats are dispersed with chem styles or without chem styles when you don't have 10 chemistry. So when Foothead might say, you know, on 9 chemistry, you're going to get 81 stats instead of 90 stats boosted, it might not be the truth. That might not be the case. And they might not be given in the areas that Foothead or Footbin or Footwiz suggest they are given in. So I would like to see it for that reason, just so we can get exact, concrete proof of where the stats go, how they go, and what they look like. And what would be interesting is if they did do something like that, let's say they changed dynamically the stats, like let's say you've got your left mid on 10 chem and he's got the full stat boost and it shows you in the attribute screen, and then you move him down to the left back spot on 7 chem and it shows you what that looks like. That will be the theoretical like rating change that people think they want that doesn't exist, that actually does exist. People say, oh, if I want to use Marcelo at left mid, I should be able to use him, but just I should see his new ratings. Well, that's actually what chem styles do, but because you can't visualize it and physically see it, you just think you're playing a left back off chem. You don't think you're playing a left back with not as good stats. It's hard to explain. I know what I mean. I'm sure some of you guys know what I mean as well. But yeah, I would love to see not only chem style boosts and how they adapt a player and such. There's just so much more I want to see with stats, with tracking, with goalkeeper clean sheets, with defenders, with tackles. I'd like to, in a player's like attribute section or whatever, where you see their goals and assists, I would like to see their last 10 games average rating. I would like to see the number of pass, you know, their pass success rate over their career. Because it might be a case where you've played 100 games with Lothar Matthäus icon and 100 games with Patrick Vieira icon, and you can't decide which one works better for you, because all you can go off is goals and assists. And for midfielders, that doesn't really mean all that much, especially not for the positions that you might play Vieira and Matthäus. But if it had pass rate, tackle rate, win, loss, draw rate, like, okay, so every time you played a game with Matthäus, you got a 83% win rate, and when you play with Patrick Vieira, you've got an 86% win rate, you're going to be like, well, hey, I just, like, according to the stats, I performed better with Patrick Vieira. Thus, I'm going to play with Patrick Vieira more. And it would just give you more ability to actually craft and create your ultimate team. Whether or not we get stuff like that, maybe I'm just in dreamland, but it would be good. Hyperbeast says, will you upload Black Ops 4 when it comes out? I will probably stream a lot of Black Ops 4 when it comes out. Will I upload it? Almost definitely not. Kate Boys says, hey Net, what should I do? Save up my 80 to 83 rated players and all my coins just in case better SBCs come around, or just try my luck with the current SBCs and 7.5k packs. PS, love the content. Save them. I know SBCs are coming. In fact, by the time you're watching this video, I've already uploaded a World Cup SBC video earlier. Go and check that out. So, yeah, the SBCs are coming. I would just wait and see. I wouldn't waste things right now, personally, for me. Rian Fox says, I still remember in 2016 waiting for the FIFA 14 World Cup Road to Glory to return. You did a good job with it. Please don't stop this randomly. I love this series. Well, I appreciate you saying that, dude. This industry is weird, man. Like, series-based videos don't generally do all that great for long periods of time. My Road to Glory on my second channel is an exception to that rule. For some reason, that just seems to do well. But as I said in the last episode, and as I'll say every episode, so long as you guys are watching this, engaging with this, dropping the thumbs up, dropping the comments, I will continue to upload this. As soon as I see the views start dwindling and people lose interest in this series, there'll be no reason for me to upload this. I'd rather upload better content that people are engaged with instead of this content. But what I might do is, if this series starts drying up on this channel, I could just move it over to the second channel and rotate it with the regular Road to Glory videos and just run the Road to Glory simultaneously next to each other. That won't be a problem at all. And then the final comment, is from Hans Elrend Royland. What a name. He says, hey Nep, you should really play the draft when you have enough coins. I don't have PS Plus and I play offline draft and the rewards are so good. My team improves so fast and you do not only get packs for playing but also 5 to 6k coins. So you're right in terms of offline draft. Online draft I don't personally think is worth it because there are some rewards that don't include coin return or the packs that also translate over to the regular FUT. But offline draft is an exception to that. As you said, in offline draft you get 5 to 6k coins. You get a European Players Pack, you get a 5k pack and a 7.5k pack that also translate over. So on any given offline draft, with the match coins as well, you're actually going to make 10, 12,000 coins back. So you're basically paying about 3,000 coins for a 5k, a 7.5k and a European Players Pack, which I think is great value for money. It just depends on value for your time. So it takes you about an hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes to complete an offline draft. How worth it is that? I don't really know. It's a grind, it's boring. Yes, it's quite efficient, but I would rather have fun playing online, grinding the group stages of the World Cup and making my packs through that. It just depends what suits you and what doesn't suit you. So anyway, guys, to end the video, there you go. We get Raja Nangalan, of course, in the pack there. This is going to be the end. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.